You know, I love conversations. It's what it's all about, right? So today I want to give you 10 essentials of a trust building conversation. Are you ready? Here we go. The first one, active listening. Truly hear and be present with the other person. In other words, listen to understand and appreciate them, not just to respond. Number two, empathy and emotional connections. If there's no emotional connection, it's going to be a pretty tough conversation. Building trust is less about what you say and more about how you make the other person feel. It's all about feelings, which also implies you should not go on and on and on. In fact, in any conversation, after 60 seconds, you should keep your mouth shut and let the other person say something, all right? Don't go on and on. Number three, clarity and purpose. Know the outcome you want in the conversation, but be flexible. For example, you might want to understand the other person's problem. So by all means, have a purpose, but guide the conversation very gently. And there's a very simple way to do that. And if you'd like to know, message me. And at the same time, avoid vague language. You've got to make things simple, clear, and precise in order to have a conversation that makes sense. Number four, be authentic and be transparent. People value sincerity much more than perfection. So be your best imperfect self. And be prepared to say, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. Number five, pretty obvious, but ask engaging questions. In other words, open-ended questions, not questions that have a yes or a no answer, because that conversation is not going anywhere. Ask questions that make people think. Ask questions that encourage people to share openly and honestly. If you're not sure what that is, message me. Number six, admit your flaws and your limitations. None of us are perfect, and no one expects us to be, right? So admit your flaws. Forget the ego. Just be the real you. Number seven, probably the most powerful tip of all 10, strategic silence. Well-placed pauses gives the other person time to think, time to absorb what you've just said to them or a question you've just asked them. Gives them time to elaborate and to reflect and to give you the truth. Number eight, this takes a bit of courage. Share a vulnerable or a personal story. If you can do that, it will definitely build a much deeper connection between you and the other person. Take some courage, but if you can do it, fantastic. And another thing that requires courage is number 9, to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Don't skirt around uncomfortable truths, or don't try to avoid facts that should be said. One of the most common elephants in the room is, how much does it cost? Don't avoid that. Directly address that. Be proud of what you do. I'll give you a clue, however. If you are providing some sort of product or service and let's say it costs $2,000, a clue for you is to use the words 2K, not 2,000, just 2K. Keep that in mind. But by acknowledging the elephant in the room and addressing it and putting it on the table, sure, it takes courage, but it also builds your credibility. And number 10, don't be afraid to ask for advice or their opinion. We don't know everything, and we can learn from everybody. And every conversation you enter into, you can learn from them and expect to learn something from them. That's what it's all about. After all, if you seek input from the other person, it makes them feel good, it empowers them, and it fosters mutual respect. So there you are. There's my 10. Good luck with your next conversation, and let me know how you get on.